those of you who are new, you're here because you are attracted to high performance, right? You want to be a high performer in your life, in your business, in your fitness. I often work with entrepreneurs and leaders who are really driven like you. If you're in this group, I'm assuming that you are also driven. And you're successful, right? But you know something is missing. You know that there's more inside of you. And typically it's the lack of focus or setting priorities, and you're leaking energy and all of that. And what I really do is help keep people challenged. My groups do, my programs do, my coaches do. We keep you challenged, we keep you accountable. So just being here inside of the free group will give you a little taste of that, of how we really narrow your focus so that you can actually accomplish the things in your life that matter the most to you, right? Not just a bunch of busy work that leaves you empty, frustrated, and burned out. This is a really critical time in our life right now. I was watching a training yesterday with Russell Brunson. If you don't know him, it's okay. But if you do, you know he's a big deal in the online space. He's the creator of ClickFunnels and lots of other businesses. But he was talking about, you know, the fact that right now, the thing that is really catching people's attention, and let me know if this is catching your attention, is anything that's talking to you about how to get out of whatever pain you're in, right? Like right now, as we're in this lockdowns, people are feeling like pain or fear, anything related to pain. So what's happening, what he's seeing, because he's in marketing, is that people are not signing up for things or reading things or clicking on things or engaging in things that are speaking into like the pleasure. Like, do you want to be successful, right? What people are really clicking into right now is this will help ease your pain. This will help take away your fears. So pay attention now. I just gave you this little tip when you see people marketing to you. And I'm not saying that's wrong. I'm just saying smart people like him realize that right now, that's what people are most focused on. It's their fears, it's their worries. And it's no surprise because that's what we see so much in the news. And just inside of some of you, you may be experiencing that. Personally, I have zero fears right now going on during this coronavirus, and I've just gotten even more creative with how I help people, with who I help. I've gotten more in touch with what, you know, really matters to me, and I hope that you have too. So here's what today I want to talk to you about. It's the fact that you wanting something, desiring the success or the fitness or the relationship that you want. Or even like we just talked about, Russell saying that people are being attracted to people that can help them get away from whatever is their pain. So even if you want to be without fear right now, if you want to be pain-free in your body, if you want to find a way to stop struggling in your business, right? That's speaking into the fear. Well, the truth is, the truth bomb is wanting it won't actually get you anywhere. Wanting it won't get you anywhere. Think about when you were a kid and all the things you said that you wanted to have or to be when you grow up, right? You might have wanted to be a fireman, a teacher. I wanted to be a teacher, an astronaut, a singer, an actor, all of a doctor, right? And I want to live in a big house, and I want to, all these things that we want. But how many of us have actually become what we said we wanted? If you have become and you are doing what you said you wanted as a child, let me know in the comments, because I think that's very interesting. Of course, I am a teacher, just not in a school, right? So some people did become what they said they were going to be, but most people did not. So, or saying what they wanted, right? It's not enough to just want something. Any one of us can want something. Any one of us can desire something. We can meditate on it. We can pray about it. We can wish, we can hope for it. But I have yet to meet one person, myself included, and I teach manifestation, right? I've yet to meet one person who has accomplished what they wanted without actually doing anything to get it, right? And not just doing something to get it, but doing it with consistency through the ups and the downs, right? Russell was talking about the fact that he's known for ClickFunnels, and people think that was like an overnight success, when what they don't see is that for 10 years, he had been working on businesses and a version of this business until he got it right. Guess why he got it right? He hunkered down for one entire year and literally focused on one thing. And when I say one thing, I mean one thing. He literally focused on a webinar that he taught 3 times a week over and over and over for an entire year. And most people are complaining about doing something a couple of times, or, oh my gosh, I have to send out that many emails, or, oh my gosh, I have to call, that many people, or I'm already tired of, I've been doing this for a few months, or I've been doing this for a year, right? People want the result. They want the result and the fruits of the labor without the actual labor. And it's easy to get attracted and caught up in what we see online, where it looks like everything happens overnight and everything is easy, but it's not the case. And here's the thing: when you can accept that it's not all meant to be easy, when you can accept that that's part of the journey, then you can embrace it. And that's how I always say the hard stuff gets really easy. Right? It's not enough to want it. It's so easy to want something. Why do so many people go and spend a lot of money watching people, rock stars, and watching their favorite athletes, right? They're spectators in the stands. They want that for themselves. In some way, they desire that. They're attracted to it, but they're certainly not willing to do what it takes to get there, right? The consistency through the ups and the downs. And that's what Russell reminded me of when he said, listen, finally, I just hunkered down and I did the same thing over and over again. It got so boring. It got so tedious. It was just little tweaks every single day. It's not the big giant things that everybody's looking for all the time. It's the things that we're doing on a daily basis that create the result. Think about fitness, right? It's the things that you can't just work out once a week, or go really hard for a month and not work out again. Like, you literally have to do it every day consistently. What you're eating, how you're eating, and your activity level is what actually produces the physique that you desire or don't desire, right? So in the law of attraction, one of the things that people always miss is the word action. If you guys are with me as you're watching, please give me some indication that this is making sense to you. So, law of attraction, it's meeting the universe halfway. It's not just sitting in meditation, right? It's the same with prayer and with God. When we pray, we're saying to God, we need you, right? Without you, we can't do this. Right? Prayer is an act of faith. What is the use in praying unless you have faith that it can happen, right? So you've got to have the belief. So you can use this with prayer. You can use this with affirmations. So when we pray, we not only demonstrate our need for God's hand in that. If you call it universe, that's fine, but also our faith, right? So we've got to believe it. It's not enough to just want it. We've got to believe it. And then the key moment, if you're with me, you'll know what that is, comes after we do the praying, and it's what we do. It's what we do. This is the critical point where many people fail, right? It's the action. Prayer, meditation, all of that still requires action on our part. Too many people, will pray or meditate or say, I want this, but they fail to follow up their prayers and their affirmations and all of that with actual action. They pray and seek God for something in their life. They finish praying and then they sit back and wait, right, for their needs to be met. Come on, right? Well, we can't forget that true faith in believing for what we want, right? Having that desire, like Russell had that desire, that belief that he could have this happen, right? And he prayed and he had his affirmations. Well, I'm making up the affirmations part, but he prayed and he did, all of the things that is what I call the easy part. But then he went out and he took action consistently, right? Consistently. So what is it that you keep saying you want, but that you haven't actually made the real effort to get? To me, it's like a slap in the face to God, right? It's like, listen, I'm just going to sit here and tell you what I want, make it happen, boom. Are you sick of just talking already about what you want? Are you ready to finally prove to yourself that you aren't all talk? I remember specific moments in my own life. When I made this decision for myself, I can think about when I decided to take control of my health and my fitness, right? I was a young girl in my 20s. I was smoking. I was drinking a lot. I was overweight. I didn't really have any role models of healthy living, healthy eating, of exercise. My grandparents were diabetic. Like, I didn't have that model. But I remember that I got to the point where I was so sick of myself and disgusted with it that it was like, I'm not just going to talk anymore about what I want. I literally remember the moment. It's like seeing a picture of myself. Have you ever seen that? Have you ever had a moment where you've seen a picture of yourself and you're just like, oh my gosh. And maybe it's not just about weight, but you don't look healthy, right? Like I had that moment and I was sick of it already. I got disgusted. I teach this in my Get Set method. Like sometimes your desire to change has to come from a dark place, a place where you're just so disgusted. It doesn't have to come from something positive all the time, right? And that's when I was ready to put action behind it consistently. I knew it wasn't going to happen overnight. Same thing when I go into starting a business. This is my 4th business. All 4 of them have been successful. I am never unrealistic about my expectations of what's required, right? I go into it with faith, with prayer, belief, and with committed action and focus. So my question to you is, are you ready to create evidence in your life that you can do, have, and be whatever it is you put your mind to and your actions to? Are you ready to do that? Are you sick of just sitting back and saying, I want this. I wish I had this. I look at that person. That person has what I want. I mean, here is the truth. Right now, during the quarantine time, there is no better time to work on the things that you said you were going to do. Like there is no better time. It will never be easier than it is. Trust me on this. To focus on what it is you say you want. You have so many less distractions right now, and you can be the one, you have to be the one to decide, what will I do with this time? How will I look back on this time? And will I put my money where my mouth is? Will I be just all talk, or will I actually put actions behind that? Right? What are you waiting for? Because the truth is, if you don't do and go after what you've been saying that you want, if you don't take action now, you're probably never going to do it, because this is the easiest time. So my invitation to you is, if this message is resonating with you and you know that you are ready to take the actions, and you know that having the support, talking through it with someone and finding out what the options are for you are, then send me a message. Send me a private message right here through Facebook, or email me. just email me directly, jessica@jessicaperez-beebe.com. Let's start a conversation. Prove to yourself that you actually go after what you want, that you don't just talk about it, you be about it. That's what we used to say in my neighborhood. Don't talk about it, be about it, with the little head bop, right? That's the kind of neighborhood I grew up in. And it's the truth. It's like, don't talk about what you're going to do. Go out there and do it. Don't talk about what you want. Go out there and create it. Go out there and create it. That is what I help people do. And I work with people in a variety of ways, from as an investment as low as $500 all the way up to my high-end clients who pay me over $30,000. The point is, there's something for you in there somewhere if you're ready to take action and get the results that you want in your life. Don't let anything stop you. Don't let the naysayers, don't let fears, don't let money, don't let anybody in your life. And if you're around people who are not pursuing their own dreams, believe me, they ain't going to back you up on yours, which is why you need to surround yourself with people who are dreaming big, who are seeing the positive in what's going on, right? There's a saying that God always makes good out of what was intended to be evil, right? I didn't say it correctly, but I believe that wholeheartedly. So you need to make sure you're surrounding yourself with people who think like that, believe like that, and are taking action. All right. Thanks for joining me. Let me know in the comments if this supported you, and I will see you inside of the group next time. Bye, guys.